Gentry and Christy. Cut in front of her, right, Christy? And they're about to commence, so we're going to hand it off now to Vice President of Communications, Jay Alvis. Jay?
Okay, Drew, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for coming this afternoon. With so many of our communities suffering right now from terrible floods, including Todd, all those affected certainly remain in our prayers and our thoughts as we work today. But from his first hit, his single in Pittsburgh back in '97, I think all of us have been fortunate to watch a Hall of Fame career unfold right before us. There are really too many moments for me to even single out a few, but certainly the iconic picture of him holding his arms up with the baseball with the final out of the 2007 NLCS ranks very high. And today with his family, his wife Christy, daughters Tierney Faith and Gentry Grace here with him today. He's here to speak about his career and answer any questions that you may have today. Todd?
Thank you. When I first got to the big leagues 17 years ago, I had an energy, a passion that was great, and I'm excited to have that same passion as I start the new phase of my life. It's been an honor to be your first baseman for the last 17 years. You've seen me grow from a man to a husband to a father. You've seen the good times and the bad. And it's been a pleasure to share all that with you as we went through that. To my wife, the 0 for 4s, I brought them home to you, and you made them better. I appreciate that. Like me, she took her job very seriously, and her job was making my job easier. And I appreciate it. To my girls, walking out every night and seeing their faces, just makes it all better. And they are the loves of my life, and I'm looking forward to spending more time with them without the pressure of baseball added on. So they'll probably get pretty sick of me pretty soon, but I plan on being there a lot more, so that's good. Obviously my parents, I'd like to thank them. As parents, you know the countless hours you spend in the backyard, the taxi service. They made it all possible for me to spend all this great time with you. I'd like to thank the Rockies front office staff for the opportunity to put on the uniform. Jerry McMorris, Kelly McGregor. Jerry was like a father to me. The Monforts, for all believing in me. There's many more people that I'd like to thank, and I'm sure I'm going to miss some. From Schulte, Doogie, Milo, Hurdle, Chico, DT, all the guys down in the clubhouse, my teammates, and every guy with the last name Jones that I played with. All the coaches, the hard work they put in, all the managers that I had to argue with every once in a while to get my name in the lineup. It's been fun, been a lot of fun. What will I miss the most? Obviously I'll miss the competition. I'll miss the anticipation of walking out of a tunnel and seeing the bands and getting ready to play the game. That's going to be the toughest part to me in the competition on the field. You hear all the time, why didn't you smile more out there on the field? Why didn't Well, I didn't show more emotion because I was out there trying my hardest. And to me, when you're out there working and trying your hardest, it's it's hard to smile all the time. But let me tell you, I was enjoying myself. I was enjoying every minute that I spent out there. I'm going to miss walking out of the tunnel at night. Walking past Charlotte, saying goodnight. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get a hit the next day, or how we're going to win a game the next day. To me, that's going to be the hardest. The fans of Colorado, I'd like to thank them. I'd like to think that I've been the model of consistency, but y'all have been the model of consistency for me. I don't know how those girls stand out there and hold that sign every time I come back. To me, that's what's amazing. My relationship with the game is going to come to an end, but the relationships I've made in the game will carry on, and to me, that's what's important. Once again, I want to thank y'all for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Todd has to get ready for a game tonight. We're not going to have time for one-on-ones, so media folks, if you've got any questions, please let us know now.
Todd, why was this the right time?
It's just, when it's time. I mean, you never know when the right time is, but 40 years old, I got 2 young girls. It's a young man's game. You just know when it's time. And it's been a good run, but it's time to move on.
What about your legacy? What do you want people to remember about you?
Whatever they want. I go out and play the game. They get to remember me for whatever they want. That's, I think a legacy is whatever anybody wants it to be. But, each night I try to go out and play hard and do the best I can. I think that's all you can ask for.
We don't know how it's going to turn out, but in 5 years, every winter there's going to be a discussion about you and the Hall of Fame. Do you look forward to that? That's not really. Obviously, it's an honor and all that just to be mentioned in that conversation. So, that's for a later date.
Todd, there's been so much said about your hitting prowess. People sometimes forget about your fielding. Can you just talk a minute about how proud you are, not just of the Gold Gloves, but how steady you've been as a first baseman?
When I was in the minor leagues coming up, that was the thing. He can hit, but you never know if he's going to be, if his defense was going to be good enough. Of course, with the big cat at first base, you're talking about one of the best of all time defensively too. So I had a great guy to look up to, and had a high standard set. So to me, anybody with a half a leg of talent can be a good first baseman if they put the work in. So to me, it was just all about getting out there and getting the work, getting the repetition, and the work.
Todd, what was this day like when we talked in Arizona, but when you get home in Denver and approaching this press conference, was there a different finality to this? Does this feel different today here at Coors Field in front of this group and in front of your teammates and teammates?
Yeah, of course it does. It's different. It's a lot more emotional. I think I can handle it. I think this part right here is the hardest part.
Right.
I mean, going home and being with my family afterwards and not showing up for a job.
Todd, you've known this was coming for a long time. Did going through the year and knowing it was your last time going through so many things, how did that change your experience on the field and in the clubhouse around the Rockies this summer?
I think in the 162-game season, just knowing a lot of things are the final time that I have to do a rundown situation or something like that, it just takes a lot of stress, and you just realize that, you know, just to enjoy it, and knowing that you're never going to go through it again, to me, it wasn't sad. It was great. You know, the cage, going to the cage is probably the thing that I'm going to miss. Being down in the cage and hitting and working with my swing and trying to figure out. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough.
Do you want to announce this now so that fans here in Colorado had a chance to see you one last time and know for sure that they were going to get to see you before?
Sure. Yeah.
What's the advice you give to the younger players coming in that you wish you would have had when you first got in?
You know, like I said, there's so many people along the way that have helped me. But Tom Probst pulled me aside my rookie year and said, Todd, you can be one of two players. You can be the guy that shows up and complains about being hurt, or you can go out and play. And it always stuck with me. You know, you ask any baseball player at this time of the season if they don't feel well, and there's, you know, as you know. So to me, just getting out there on the field and being on the field was probably the best advice that I'd ever gotten. Go out and play.
Anything else you'd like to accomplish in these last 2 weeks in a ball game?
I'd like to hit about 40 more homers.
Anything else? That pretty much wraps it up.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hope you like it.
Thank you. You want to hit a bit?